Your brain, that squishy pink wrinkled organ sitting in your skull like a soggy walnut. It's supposed to be your command center, the CEO of you, the master of logic, memory, perception, and every dumb decision you've ever made at 3 a.m. But what if I told you that same brain, the one running the show, was also a professional liar? Yep, your brain lies, constantly, boldly, without remorse. It lies about your memories, your emotions, your senses, and sometimes even your own body. And the worst part? You believe it. Every single time. Let's get right into it. Number 9. It thinks you're better than everyone. Let's end with a feel-good lie. Kind of. Your brain, bless its delusional little folds, is obsessed with making you think you're smarter, kinder, and more competent than the average human. Statistically, that's impossible. Logically, hilarious. But biologically, pretty common. It's called the above average effect, and it means that most people, when asked to rate themselves on traits like intelligence, honesty, or driving skill, rank themselves higher than the median, which is mathematically insane, unless you're living in a sitcom full of side characters. But your brain needs this lie. It's part of your psychological immune system. Without it, you'd crumble into a pile of anxiety every time you compared yourself to someone who knows how to fold a fitted sheet. This delusion also helps with confidence, motivation, and in some cases, survival. Because let's face it, if your brain didn't hype you up with a bit of ego-flavored Kool-Aid, you might never leave your bed. So yes, your brain is lying to you. Again. But this time, maybe it's for your own good, unless you actually are below average, in which case, oof, sorry. Number 8, it makes you feel stuff that isn't there. You know that feeling when your phone buzzes in your pocket, but you check it and, surprise, no one loves you? That's not just you being tragically single, that's your brain inventing phantom vibrations. This weird trick of the mind is so common it has a name, phantom vibration syndrome. It happens when your brain interprets tiny random sensations, like muscle twitches or clothing shifts, as phone alerts. Why? Because your brain has been trained to expect them. It's the neurological equivalent of a jumpy dog who hears every rustle as someone's at the door. And it doesn't stop at phones. Phantom pain in amputees, that's the brain still expecting a limb to exist. Phantom itching, phantom smells, phantom sounds, yup. All your brain trying to match reality with expectations it refuses to let go of. It's like your brain is running outdated software and keeps trying to load features that no longer exist. No hand? No problem, I'll still send it a pain signal, for tradition. The scary part, sometimes your brain can insist on sensations so hard that they become chronic, like in cases of psychosomatic pain where there's no physical cause, just a very passionate imagination with too much authority. Basically, your brain is out here cosplaying as both director and special effects coordinator, whether you asked for it or not. Number 7, it changes reality based on your emotions. Let's say it's raining outside. On a good day, you might think, ooh, cozy weather, time for tea and a blanket I stole from my grandma. On a bad day though? This rain is a personal attack. Nature hates me. I should move to the desert. Same rain. Totally different brain. That's because your brain doesn't just interpret reality, it filters it through your emotions, and those emotions can distort your senses, like how time seems to slow down when you're terrified, or how a room feels colder when you're sad. Your perception isn't objective, it's mood-flavored. This is called affective realism, the idea that what you feel literally changes what you see, hear, smell, and believe to be true. In studies, people who were feeling anxious were more likely to see neutral faces as threatening. People feeling rejected described physical temperatures as colder. And angry people? They overestimated how far away objects were. Because apparently, rage makes everything look farther away. Like your dreams. Too soon. Your brain is basically an unreliable narrator in a psychological thriller. 1 minute it's like, you're crushing it, and the next it's handing you a horror filter for reality, and you're like, wow, everyone here definitely wants to murder me. Bottom line, your brain doesn't report reality, it edits it, and unfortunately, it rarely asks for your notes. Number 6, it thinks you're in control of your body. Time to shatter a comforting lie. You're not fully in control of your own movements. Sure, it feels like you're in charge. You want to raise your hand. Boom. Hand goes up. You want to blink. Boom. Lid flaps. Easy. But the truth is, your brain starts movements before you're even aware of deciding to move. That's not an exaggeration. In neuroscience studies using EEG scans, Researchers found that your brain shows activity for a movement milliseconds before you consciously decide to do it. This is called the readiness potential, and it suggests that what you call free will might just be a post-move press conference. It's not that you have no control, it's more like your conscious self is a manager signing off on decisions already made by the company's weird internal committee. Even weirder, in rare cases of alien hand syndrome, yes, that's real, people's hands literally start moving on their own, buttoning shirts, grabbing objects, and the person is fully aware that their body is betraying them but can't stop it. So next time you accidentally drop your phone or trip over air, maybe don't beat yourself up. Maybe it wasn't you at all. Maybe it was your overconfident meat suit freelancing again. Number 5. It thinks the world happens in real time. You're living in the present, right? Real-time experience, streamed live, no delay. That's what your brain tells you, but it's lying again. Your brain actually delays reality by around 80 to 100 milliseconds. Why? Because it needs to gather, process, and synchronize all your sensory data before it gives you the highlight reel. This delay is so consistent that your brain has built-in editing software to stitch things together and make it all feel seamless, like a magician who pulls off a trick so fast you don't even know you were duped. It's called the binding problem, and it's one of neuroscience's weirdest unsolved mysteries. Your brain receives input from your eyes, ears, skin, and various sense goblins and somehow packages it into one cohesive experience, with zero indication that it's running behind. The proof? In certain experiments, when the brain is tricked into processing information out of order, people swear it happened in a sequence that never occurred. Time, as far as your brain is concerned, is more of a strong suggestion than a rule. So no, you don't live in the present. You live in a brain-curated version of the past, delayed just enough that reality is technically always one step ahead of you. Basically, you're in the world's slowest live stream, and your brain is the sketchy internet provider buffering your entire existence. Number 4. It deletes most of what you see. Right now, take a second and look around. Go ahead, absorb your surroundings, soak in every detail like a highly caffeinated detective. Got it? Cool. Now here's the bad news. Your brain probably deleted 90% of it already. Your visual system is not a camera. It's more like a really lazy artist who sketches just enough detail to convince you that you're seeing everything, when really, it's just filling in gaps with Photoshop-level guesswork. This is called selective attention and perceptual filling in. Your eyes take in an absurd amount of visual information, and your brain, being the overworked middle manager it is, tosses most of it out and makes up the rest based on expectations. Ever walked into a room looking for your keys, which were right there on the table, and still somehow missed them? That's not you being dumb. That's your brain filtering out objects it doesn't expect to see, even if they're smack in front of your face. This also explains those creepy change blindness experiments where a person's shirt changes color mid-conversation and the other person doesn't even notice, because your brain is like, we're not paying attention to shirts today. Shirts are irrelevant. So yes, your brain lies about what you see all the time, and honestly, you'll never know how much you missed because you missed it. Sleep tight. Number 3, it invents reasons after you act. You ever make a decision and then immediately start crafting a reason for it that sounds smart? Like, I bought this $300 air fryer because it'll improve my health, when deep down you just wanted to see what happens if you air fry Oreos? Yeah, that's your brain doing post-rationalization. Your brain loves to feel logical. It's like that one friend who makes wildly impulsive decisions and then gives a TED talk about strategy after the fact. The truth is, you often make choices emotionally, based on gut feelings, vibes, or the dopamine rush of impulse buys. And then your brain scrambles to explain it in a way that sounds reasonable. This is especially strong in split brain experiments, where people with severed brain hemispheres were shown to make actions with one side of the brain, and the other side, having no clue why, would immediately invent a reason. And they believed it. You don't even notice this happening. You just go around justifying things like, I stayed up until 4 a.m. researching serial killers for mental stimulation, or I yelled because I'm passionate, not irrational. In reality, your brain is a full-time PR firm for your impulses. It's out here spinning stories so fast, it should win a Pulitzer for fiction. Number 2, your brain thinks you're the main character. Every time you walk into a room and feel like people are definitely watching you, judging your outfit, your walk, or how weirdly you open that door, congratulations, you've just met the spotlight effect. The spotlight effect is your brain's deeply narcissistic belief that everyone is focused on you, when in reality, most people are too busy worrying about themselves to notice your public pants mishap. It's not your fault. Your brain has a warped perception of your social visibility because, from your point of view, you are always the center of experience, so it just assumes that's true for everyone else too. But here's the reality: that thing you said 5 hours ago that you're still replaying in your head on a mental shame loop. No one remembers, no one cares. They've already moved on to their own internal spiral about something equally dumb. Your brain wants to believe you're in a Truman Show episode, but you're really just an extra in everyone else's Netflix drama. So next time you trip over nothing in public or mispronounce a word during a meeting, just remember, the crowd in your head, that's just your brain's ego throwing a party. No one else is invited. Number 1, your memories are total fiction. You think you remember your childhood, that one birthday party with the clown, the cake, and the trauma. You remember it vividly, the colors, the sounds, the moment your cousin threw up in the bouncy castle. But plot twist, that memory, it's probably fake. See, your brain doesn't store memories like a hard drive. It reconstructs them every time you recall them. So every time you remember something, you're not pulling up a file. You're basically hitting remix on an event, DJing the details based on your mood, context, and emotional state. It's less like reviewing a video and more like painting a new version each time with slightly sloppier brushstrokes. Even worse, your brain fills in blanks without your permission. Can't remember what color shirt someone wore? Your brain will just guess, and then commit to that guess like a bold-faced liar in a courtroom. This is why eyewitness testimony is notoriously unreliable. People will swear under oath that they saw someone holding a banana, and it turns out the banana was a wrench and also no one had hands. The term for this hot mess is false memory, and it's so disturbingly easy to implant that researchers have gotten people to remember getting lost in malls that never existed or petting animals they've never seen. So yeah, if your memory was a courtroom witness, it would be immediately disbarred and probably sued for perjury. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.